Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today we have an open box video for you, looking at some stuff that I got in small collections and kind of accumulated some stuff to send in on their economy service to PCGS. For those of you keeping score at home, we went econ on this all the way, and right away this 1879S starts us off with a bang with a coin that has great eye appeal, a lot of contrast there, black and white, a little bit at most angles, and it's a good looking coin in hand, but also got some of the scuffiness on there in the field. Of course, anytime you get that proof-like field going on, you know, those type of scuffs just kind of amplify. They look bigger, and most of the coin really smooth. A couple marks there on the cheek that a little more distracting, but MS64, nothing wrong with that, although I would have, you know, really preferred they had the PL on here. You know, it'll trade probably slightly higher than a normal 64 just for that, even though the PL is not on the label. I mean, anybody, if you had this coin next to, say, oh, I don't know, this coin, all right, different types of luster. Ooh, that's got some cool luster. So proof-like coins oftentimes don't have that cartwheel effect quite the same. Let's just do this. What are we doing here? Oh, see, I bought out coins that I liked. See, so that was a problem. I'm like trying to compare it to another coin, and I'm like, here, look at the difference, right? So I've had people kind of argue that you shouldn't have you know, I shouldn't use terms like semi-PL, you know, but I don't know exactly how you do things other than to call a gradation of proof-likenicity. You know, I can create up new words or a new scale, but you can tell on these 4 coins here, you know, this has more of a proof-like, mostly satin, but you get to this one on the far right and it's a complete and total satin finish to it, and not a proof-like finish at all. So sorry, tangent, but you know, it's fun to compare and see what it looks like when you have something that is somewhat proof-like and others that are not. So most of these coins I pulled because they were high eye appeal, and on Morgan dollars, even when Morgan dollars and MS65 were $75 coins, you know, if you sent them in economy, you were always shooting for that 5 versus that 4. So mostly on these guys, I was shooting for 5s, although that first coin I didn't think was a 5. I was just shooting for a PL. ADSs, they're pretty tough on. They're pretty tough, I mean stinking tough. I'm going to use that coin in another video to show you the difference between some of the old mail order 64s and just how nice that coin is. What's your favorite, though? What's your favorite of these 3 coins here? Which is your favorite undergraded coin? Oh, man. You know, sometimes I just amuse myself. So out of all of these, I mean, ADS is, you know, they still grade to the date. So, you know, what that means is because ADS has come so nice, they're a little bit tougher on them. But this coin here, yeah, I definitely penciled this one as a 65. And I know you've got a little bit of markings there on the cheek, but you know, nothing so outrageous. Yeah. All right. Well, you know, crack-a-doodle-doo. I don't know what I'm going to do with that one. So this 1885, once again, beautiful coin. You know, I pulled out a few that I thought I could get a 5 on, or a PL on. This one actually came back a 5. And apples to oranges here. Apples to apricots, something like that. As you compare the two, you know, which coin would you rather have and at what price point? So in theory, if there's a coin that you'd prefer over another coin, does it automatically mean you'd pay more for it? Well, you know, sometimes, but of course the marketplace helps us understand what price points are reasonable. You know, we don't necessarily create that ourselves, but you do understand, you know, how other people react in the market. I don't know, could there be another market with more groupthink than coin collecting? I don't know. All right, so I will never, ever get a peace dollar to come back 65. I'm just saying, So this coin does have a little bit of like this like stain action going on over here, but I just thought this was absolutely stunning for a peace dollar, and so I sent that in and got stunned. So lovely coin, and I really liked this coin. It does have a couple little stains on it, and you know, I would consider sending it into restoration or something if it was something I was going to hold on to. But I just really like that piece. Here's something I sent in just because it is a better date. It has all kinds of staining and issues on it. 1928. The two main key dates in the peace dollar series when it comes to coins that are circulated is the 21, which they only made for about a month, and the 28. And then after that, you're looking at you know, coins that the grade matters a ton. So this one, AU details cleaned, and I'm laughing because I can't even get an environmental damage on this. Come on, y'all. Anyway, I'm just teasing, but you know, this coin has luster underneath whatever's going on the surface there, but it has a very granular finish to it. And so it literally looks like it's been acid treated or something on that coin. So, but for someone who needs a better date, there you go. All right, on to some fun type coins. I'm really excited about this coin. You Barber collectors out there, you know just how rare this coin is. And by that I mean a Barber coin that is not a good or an unk, right? Something that has a decent amount of detail to it and a decent amount of wear still. You start to see little things pop up on these coins because oftentimes the eagle is still bold, but you miss the details of the lines in the shield, both the vertical and horizontal. And then things like the tail feathers separating down at the base. And then on the obverse, oh man, there's so much going on. So Barbers actually have a lot of detail. I mean, it's a pretty low relief design overall. There's not a lot of mini details, I guess I would say. But the details that are there strike really bold when they're not worn. You've got the full Liberty, and then you start to be able to see separation in all of the leaves as they come up here on the headdress. The curl is separated here from the ear. You have a full cheek line and the mouth is defined. The eye sockets all defined. So PCGS called this a VF30, the most mysterious middle grade of all time. Cool coin, probably a $200-ish coin, something like that. The Barber coins are almost impossible. I think that coin had a population of like 40 with 50 finer. I mean, it's just crazy how weird the population is on those. All right, next up, one of my all-time favorite dates. And by that, you're looking at that like, what date, Ben? There's no date there. 1921 is one of my favorite dates on coins. You know, there's you had your 1916, all the coinage changed. You had the Standing Liberty Quarter was introduced, the Mercury Dime was introduced, Walking Liberty Half was introduced. But then again in 1921, they all have low mintages. And on top of that, they introduced the peace dollar with its low mintage. And so 1921 is kind of an epic coin date to put together for just rarity. Like you could just collect nothing but 1921 coins in low grade and probably end up making a decent return on your money over several decades of collecting. And, you know, that's kind of more like hoarding collecting, but, you know, collecting. So this 1921, so the date was the highest point on the coin, so they wore off very easily. Not only that, they were oftentimes not struck up all the way. So, and people pay premiums on coins that have full dates. This is a good 6, and you know, in lots of ways I consider this to be somewhat of a conservative grade when you look at the overall detail on the coin, because I mean, really on a good, you should have almost none of the detail you have over the center part of the coin, the shield, the chest area, the arms, the head. I mean, it's just, when you look at the fact that the date is basically gone, I think you almost get to a net graded situation. But, neat looking coin. I like that kind of album original coin. That is probably $150 to $200 coin in that grade. Next up, the lovely, lovely Loathsome V-Nickel. There you go. You like that? So 1912, there are 3 coins from 1912, Denver, San Francisco, and Philly. The mint mark is hidden here under the dot at about 7 o'clock, and this has the San Francisco mint, which is one of the keys for the series. You rarely see these suckers, and have something come in and a nice collector grade. And what do you guys think the grade is on this, by the way? You've got really a nice overall coin with a decent amount of wear. But once again, like the Barber coins, these V-Nickels have a sneaky amount of detail in them. Once you start to see the Liberty pop up, and then you start this hairdress area, headdress, and the ear and stuff. So similar to the Barber, you can see that how that would form, and yet in this coin versus the Barber, there's just all that flatness over the center by the ear. So this coin they called a VG10. I think that's a really very nice accurate grade on that. That's like 125 plus type coin for all you guys looking for a nice common date. Well, how do I put this? A key date that is not a break the bank. Lots of times those come certified in high grade and they're super crazy expensive. All right, so this takes me back in the Wayback Machine. Man, I'm feeling all my collectible spidey senses going off here. 1868, nice circulated coin. No luster left, but basically full detail. You've got all the Liberty. You can make out the L on the headdress. The feathers are all sharp and pointy. Just a really cool collector coin. Yeah, the back, interesting. The back is just all there. There's even a little bit, it's hard to tell, there's even a little bit of luster in there, really tucked into the details of the wreath. XF45, 1868. I'm a huge fan of just those later 1860s, early 1870s Indian cents. Just absolutely among my favorite coins. Used to collect those when I was a kid, and super cool, especially in a nice XF45 grade. Tickling AU50, but no problems on the XF45. Nice coin. I think that's also sub 200, but around 175 to 200 on a coin like that. So I had a whole stack of these 1909 VDBs just in blazing red, and I sent a couple in and got a couple really favorable grades, and I'm like, well, you're an idiot, send some more in. And then I was like, you're an idiot for thinking you're going to get that grade again. MS64 red, just a pretty coin. This is probably a $50 or $60 coin, I'd guess, on this guy. But the whole group had this eye appeal to it. I mean, they were just super lustrous with nice color. Some of them had browned a little bit, but most of them were very red with few, if any, spotting, and just that kind of nice orange peel color. Oh man, it looks like the engineer slipped in some toners on me there. These are coins that we put on eBay and sometimes for just an opening bid and let people go at them. It's wild though, because you'll see that we'll put up the true view on a couple of these here. You can see my view and then true view, because I'm really intrigued to see what people think of a coin like this. Now let's compare. This is what I would call the true view of the coin. But the true view that they give will probably look like that-ish. All right, engineer, put up the true view. And we'll come back to life here and see how I'm looking at this coin. And look, so at angles, you can see the purple and green down here. but for the most part, and a straight front view, it's just very darkly toned. But true view will probably make the thing pop. Proof 66 on that guy. So these are probably going to be toner type coins that you goes to the eBay world. But we'll see. Same thing here, right? Get a little color on that guy. And it proof 66. It actually has a little bit of cameo going on at the right angle. But this also is a coin that, go ahead and pop up the true view and get a look and see what PCGS's true view did to the coin versus what it looks like in front of me. All right, and then we have some, I don't know if we want to call these bonus coins because they're not really, but this is a double die that I can actually see. Look at that. So I'm going to go ahead and get the 20 power out and take a closer look, but the doubling is on the In God We Trust. I think there might have been something on the 6 there also. MS65, I think this is about a $75 coin. But it's fun to be able to find. This is the type of thing you can still cherry pick today because who searches their 1963 quarters? Just the engineer. And I'm just trying to get this back to how I had it before when I could see all the doubling in the lettering there. Just in hand, it was easy to do. There, if you look at the I and the N in the G, that kind of gives you an idea of what that doubling looks like at that angle. You can see the edge of the R and the T at the end of trust, the beginning of trust. So kind of fun. And finally, oh finally, so what to say here? So there's two varieties on the, well, the 98 and 99, there was a die variety on your pennies, and so they call them the close AM and the wide AM. And we sent all these in because on the proofs, the close AM is a better coin. And the close AM basically is the A and the M in the word America are basically touching, but they're not touching. It's kind of like when your older brother, like you were annoyed because he kept trying to touch you. And you're like, don't touch me. And then he would get that close without touching you. And you'd still get annoyed. And then your mom and dad would have to break up the fight. That's how close it is. Like not really touching, but kind of touching. So, you know, I mean, we clicked on it, we paid for it, and none of them got labeled it. And it's just not worth our time to send them back in. We're probably just going to write on the labels again. All proof 68 red deep cams. You know, but the normal variety, the wide AM, is whatever, just a few bucks, $5, $10 coin. And, you know, but these will be, I think, $150 type coins on those. And so it's kind of annoying a little bit. And we've had a few things lately that kind of slipped through their quality control. That's one of them. And there's a bonus coin here at the end, which I don't know how this got here, 99, 0, and 64 plus. There we go. I was so concerned about my close AMs, I totally blew the lead on this guy. Once again, kind of fascinating to look at a coin and then plus it. I'm like, well, you know, I think the coin's all there. This was also $1. We must have thrown in at the end after we're almost all done. Because it was just, even though it's a super common date, it was really a nice looking coin. And there it is. There you go, guys. Open and closed. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.